So we like to start off the episodes by doing an introduction that none of us have prepared, and we have to try to follow along and talk in sync with each other.
This is going to be insane.
So join us. All right. So welcome
to the 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗶, the Dad Podcast.
Episode 8.
Episode 8.
With
Episode
Tom
8.
Snyder.
Yo.
Tom Snyder. Follow, like, subscribe, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Yep.
I'm the dude in here with the older kids, right? Is that it?
You're the dude with older kids. That's right.
You are the first guy we have with college-age kids.
You know, I got so much information to tell you guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things we want to talk about on that. So, what's been going on this week with you and your kids?
You won't believe it. So I have a house full of furniture. What do you mean by? So being in a real estate business, luckily people are moving all the time. So I'm trying to put a apartment together. Both of my kids are going to Pittsburgh, graduate school. I understand this is expensive for me.
What age is it? Yeah, I've heard that.
Ages are 24 going on 25 and 22. My son is going to Duquesne to be a pharmacist.
Okay.
Hey, grad school, fantastic. My daughter is going to University of Pittsburgh to get her PhD in physical therapy. You understand? So this is a great thing, but they both picked Pittsburgh because I'm from there. We live in the South. I love it down here. And I
can't even tell that you were from Pittsburgh.
No.
Can't even. Not at all.
The big thing is this week was trying to gather stuff online through Amazon, through friends, couches, and put it all together. So when my son went to college, it was easy because he didn't give a crap at things that matched. So he took the old this, the old that. Now the daughter's involved. So
She's the younger of the two.
Well, no, she's actually the older of the two.
Okay.
So we're getting Wayfair, you know, everything has to match. The wife's involved. So I'm dropping money here and there, and I'm trying to save as much money as I can because the apartment, this gets even better. So 4 weeks ago, the wife went to Pittsburgh, headhunted apartments. Okay?
What's it?
You're talking...
They got 1 bedrooms, or are they all 2 bedrooms and up?
Well, we had to have 2 bedrooms and 2 baths because boy and girl, you can't have them in the same bathroom.
Oh, all right. So they're going to share one apartment.
They have to because a daddy can't afford $2,600 a month.
God,
for separate places. So I actually made a bid on a townhome that we found around the 4th of July.
You can spend $31,000 in 1 month.
I say renting or buying.
Well,
One year. I mean, 1 year. 1 year.
Okay, yes. So I looked at buying it for them.
It's smarter.
Well, yeah, it is smarter. The problem is I just retired from federal government last year.
Right.
I'm doing great in real estate. So I got a great 401k money. Now, here's the kicker. So I refinanced the house and cashed out about $75,000 so I could have and not take after my 401k.
Right.
Gets even better. So I either got to pay the government 20-30% of the money, or I decided at I got a 6.125 rate on 20 years. My house appraised for $480. I only took out a loan of $220. This will work. So I got money at 6% interest instead of the government from my 401k to put away. But the problem is if I buy the place, I got to put 20% down, and then I still got to pay the damn mortgage.
Yep.
So I actually made the bid. I tried to get it. Didn't happen. So we got them apartment downtown. They can look out their room and see PNC Park. And to be honest with you, it was the best price, and my wife checked out 7 of them. City living's not always good, guys, because you got your guys downtown with needles and drugs and homeless people. So
that's anywhere.
Wife was really involved in trying to make sure they get a safe place.
Yeah.
I give them a budget. You know, that shit didn't work. Yeah. I'm like, $2,200, let's find something. So parking, it's going to cost me $500 a month just for freaking parking.
How long are they going to college for?
Well, it's grad school.
How much?
3 years.
3 more years?
3 years.
What's the tuition a year?
Well, I'm not even looking at tuition. They're going to get loans for that.
That's their thing.
What I'm trying to do is just feed them get him a place.
Yeah.
So my son, about a month and a half ago, I said, look, you're going to be a pharmacy, right? You have to get a pharmacy tech job. You need to learn your trade from ground up.
Sure.
So my son applied to 7 places. Every place took him because half of them were graduates from Duquesne University.
Okay.
Saw his resume, played football. So he has a part-time gig job to help me out. So he's actually working right now. So my son called me today, started the job yesterday,
All right.
working at Children's Hospital, UPMC. So I'm kind of proud that, you know, I'm hoping that that'll open his eyes to life a little bit. You know, he's dealing with kids with cancer patients, this and that, and he's the tech working with giving them their drugs and their pharmacy
And
stuff.
he's going on 22?
22. That's only a part-time gig to get him through grad school. This is so he can take the burden off of dad a little bit.
Damn, I think I was working at Honda.
I was swinging
when I
a
was
hammer. I was
22.
framing houses. When I was
Yeah.
22. Yeah.
When I was 22,
I'm still swinging a hammer.
I was still chasing my wife to be, chasing the wife to be laying bricks and mortar. My son did say he wanted to take a gap year, and both mom and dad lost their mind and said, oh, hell no, I'm not paying for you to enjoy a gap year. You have to keep moving forward.
Yeah, you can pay for yourself for a year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or let's just keep moving. So you asked.
How was that received? How was that I guess rejection for his plan received?
He understood because dad put his foot down, mom put their foot down. Oh hell no, we're not taking a gap here, dude. You're going to keep working.
Yeah, if you're 0 for 2, you might as well pack it up.
Well, one thing that I thought about with the age of your kids is you kind of raise kids, the first generation, to have smartphones and iPhones their whole life growing up, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I got to have them help me fix my phone because I don't know how to work the damn thing, but they can. When they're 10 and 11.
If you had an
12,
iPhone, it would be easier.
I know that drawer I got. The problem is with the iPhones, the kids, as they were growing up, you understand, they thought their life was more important than mine.
Yeah.
So they would steal each other's chargers. So the iPhone charger, I was buying every other week because one would take it, but my Droid charger stood right there on the wall, and I could plug my phone in and do my business.
And now you're fucked because they're all the same.
Yes, because a new iPhone now is using the damn Droid charger.
Yep.
So now I gotta hide my crap at the house so my son or daughter doesn't take it, because their lives are more important than mine. But that's the young generation.
Yeah.
The moral to the story was my house is getting loaded with stuff from Wayfair, and my wife's like, "You can't build shit, Tom. We got to find a way to have your handyman come to the house, put it together."
Oh, she said that to you?
I'm good at landing airplanes. I'm good at selling real estate, and I can read a manual. I can put something together.
Say, it comes with instructions.
I can read the manual and do it. She just doesn't want me to fumble through it and make even longer.
The instructions. So this is going to be part of my This Week in Dadding or the Grumpy Old Men bit. So, but I spent 14 hours between Sunday and yesterday after work putting together a playground in the backyard for my daughter.
That's quick. I've heard some astronomical
There
numbers
was,
of putting together
without
swing
exaggerating,
sets.
damn it, I forgot. I had the instruction manual in there. There was 59 pages of instructions. Between 2 pages was over 120 different screws to put in. All the hardware, I laid it all out piece by piece. And so basically I got the instruction book. I made sure everyone was there. I put all the hardware were organized. Then I'm bouncing around in instructions, and like 10 pages into it, everything is all mixed up, and it's taking me forever to find every size screw because you got to bounce around.
That's what my wife was afraid of, that I'm going to mess something up.
Well, I kind of messed it up, but I've also framed houses for so long that I was able to.
So we may need to say a prayer for them kids.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're gonna be fine.
I'm going to pray for dad because I'm the one who's
Missing
got to get the
50
rider
screws
truck.
in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
So it gets even better. So I've had to get a rider truck set up for the end of July. I got to bring it to the house. I got to hire one of my buddy's kids, pay him $100, help me because I'm too cheap because I'm broke trying to get them to graduate school.
Hell yeah.
Load this rider truck up. Then I got to get myself in the rider truck, drive it to Pittsburgh. My son's pissed because he can't move in right on the 1st, on the 1st of August. The problem is, the rider truck to get downtown Pittsburgh, there's no place to put this thing.
Right.
I talked to the people. They don't even have a weight elevator big enough. So I got to kind of double park on the curb. And she says, well, the best time to move in's on a Sunday. Well, August 1st is on a Friday. So this is my game plan. Get the rider truck early on Friday morning. Get my buddy's kid to come over in midday. Load this thing up.
Okay.
Saturday, the 2nd, drive to Pittsburgh.
That's
right?
a short drive.
9 hours. Park it. And now I got to figure where to park the Noah's Ark, the 20-footer I'm getting, because they live. My wife's parents live in a city, so it gets even better.
Yeah.
Then I got to get up Sunday morning when hopefully people are hungover. Get my butt down there at 8 o'clock, and then force my son and daughter to start busting tail. And I may have to hire somebody else to get the stuff upstairs.
Okay.
In the meantime, my wife has threatened me that next week, when all the lamps and the furniture come in, that we need to assemble as much as we can in the garage before we get there. Get it? The only thing I can't assemble was my wife bought a bed from 𝗤𝗡𝗻. No, actually, my daughter saw one. She loved it because her friend had it. This thing comes in a box, right? And I'm thinking to myself, how is this a bed frame, right? So you know there's 10,000 effing pieces of this thing that I got to put together.
This whole episode is going to be grumpy old man.
Oh, hell yeah.
So the wife is like, there's no way in hell I'm waiting. I said, so look, because there's no way to get a big bed up the elevator of this place I'm
You're
going
going to have to build it there.
Build it there, but the rest of the stuff I'll try and build here.
Yeah.
You understand? So I've hired my handyman who does my real estate stuff to get this done. So to get back to the paying for the apartment. So I did my spreadsheets. I did my wife did their due diligence and figure out parking, price for parking, electric, water, broke down all the apartments, safety versus non-safety. And I am out the door.
Lived in the Bronx in Washington Heights.
Oh my God. But now look, it's a nice place. It's only 1,100 square feet. It's got a open
Huge
kitchen.
for a city apartment.
Open kitchen to the great room. They got 2 bedrooms. So a month ago, my buddy's leaving his house and says, okay, look, you know, I want to sell some of the stuff. I'm like, I could use that. So I bought my buddy's spare bedroom set for my son. It was $1,000. Okay. But I'm figuring out that not all of it's going to fit in his apartment. So half will go up, half's going to stay in my garage for years because it's a set. And I'm not going to get rid of it.
He'll need it one day.
Right. So you guys with younger kids, enjoy it now, because I'm telling you, I'm looking at $2,600 a month for this place so they can go to grad. Now, I'm proud of my kids. PhD in physical therapy, going to be a pharmacist. My son is already working at the UPMC Children's Hospital, being a tech. So he's learning his craft from the ground up.
Yeah. 3 years, not including parking, you're paying $93,000 in 3 years.
Yeah.
And the parking on top of that is $500 a month?
Man, you really didn't have to like say it out loud like that, because I think it's sinking in now.
Oh, man, I'm starting to sweat over here.
Yeah. We're gonna see the 𝗏𝗵𝗵 in real time. Just hair start
my
falling
hair,
out.
I'm not. The hymns better hold on and keep my hair in my head. You know what I'm saying? So I can keep rolling with this.
Yeah, we
the
talked
old,
about
the old
hymns,
gas
man.
stuff.
Him's better freaking endorse us is all I'm
So
saying.
with the young kids, so Tom, I build that set 14 hours. Last night I finished it after she goes to bed. She wakes up this morning all excited. Daddy's done. She goes to the window and Daddy's done. Turns around and goes, I can play with mommy. I'm like, I'm out of the equation that quickly.
Their attention span when they're young goes. It doesn't change as they get older.
She just loves mommy still so much. She always wants to play with mommy. She was very happy. She was so excited. She was hugging my leg. She was glued to the window the whole time I was building it. It was awesome.
But when it was built, they were out.
She wanted to play with mommy.
Oh
Just
my God.
know
Yeah.
in the back of your mind that she's grateful for you.
So, but
'Cause she wouldn't be playing with mommy on that thing if it wasn't for daddy.
And then the other thing that happened this week I wanted to talk about was we're potty training her. And she'll pee in the potty, but she won't poop in the potty yet. So yesterday my wife leaves her.
Because there's a monster in the potty, or there's a snake coming through the potty. I get it.
I don't know what it is exactly. She just will not. She wants to run somewhere and hide and poop standing every time. So my wife read that you just take their underwear off and leave them like that all day, and she won't poop. She's like, poop. She just won't do it. My wife had to leave to use the restroom or whatever it was. She just said she stepped out of the room for a minute. Amelia went in the drawer, took out a pair of underwear, put it on, and shit in it.
That's still way easier than what I'm going through with this apartment. I would take those days back.
I'm
You're
loving
cheap.
it. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but what happened with you this week?
Well, same as usual, just crazy, chaotic stuff. There's nothing really crazy that stood out. I am like learning how much I am finding out my kids are just lazy, man.
How old are they?
2, 6, 8, 12. Bryce gets the free pass. He's up in New Jersey right now, so he's completely out of the equation. And Judge is trying to blame it on somebody else, but she's the only fucking person home. And I go in there and like when I brush my teeth, I don't know why it makes me so mad, but I see the kids' toothpaste sitting there, and then the cap is right next to it, but it's not on it. But it's like, dude, you couldn't just put it on there.
How did you deal with things like that? Because you're intense. How are you as a dad?
I was so busy sometimes that some of that stuff slid, and I'm kind of kicking myself in the ass for it. My son will get a shower, leave his drawers sit right there on the floor, and then goes about his day. And the wife, the Italian mama, goes and picks all the stuff up for him. You know what I'm saying? It's just insane how mama cleans up after this 6'4", 240 pounds.
Yeah, he's a tank.
He was all-state tight end, played Division I football, and you're like, dude, you're so smart, but you're so lazy at certain things.
So
he gets it easy. So my daughter had to work hard to get through school with A's. Okay, and she overachieved. My son just gets it easy, but yet I can't get him off the couch to do certain things.
Well,
is that with you guys, or is it just a laziness is all the way around?
No, I mean my kids are like that. They're young, but I'm worried that it's gonna get to that point where as they get older, like they're just not gonna learn.
For your younger
what I'm worried
dads,
about, yeah.
you've got to get on to a good training early, and I missed that part maybe that I should have made him make your bed, do AB, do this, do that. I'm not dealing with these clothes. Get them going. At least get them to the laundry. Just get the clothes in the laundry room.
I feel like we say
to the laundry room, I'm good.
you know what my parents used to do if we didn't clean our rooms? They would go in our room with a snow shovel. They'd dump everything we had onto our bed and say, if you want to go to sleep tonight, you're going to have to clean your room first.
good.
Literally.
I'm about at that point because I feel like I have the same conversation like every day.
Dude.
And it's like that's the kind of stuff that makes me aggravated, and I feel like I lose my patience with because I don't like having to repeat myself to anybody.
Yeah.
Much less the people that are supposed to be following a very simple instruction that don't pay for rent in my house. You know?
So I think about this too. You know, I've talked about this before on here. Is like me and my wife want to tell Amelia her whole life it takes a team to run a house, and you are part of this team. This is what you have to do.
I love that.
That's a great concept. I should have used that. We're a team here. We all have to work together.
Yeah.
And even I tell my kids at my house, now my wife keeps the house straight. Now, we do have a maid, but I mean, you walk in my house, man, you're like, does anybody live here? I mean, we have a 3,000 square foot house.
That's two of my house.
She wants, I left shoes, this was years ago, laying in the living room. I got a shoe thrown at me, dude, by my wife. So I learned quickly. Now, she wouldn't do it to the kids, but the husband, I got a shoe flown at
Is she
me.
Italian?
Oh, yeah. So I knew exactly.
I had no idea. Let me make that clear.
I knew exactly to get the shoes where they're supposed to be. So my wife has trained me. I can do laundry. There ain't nothing in the house I can't do.
All it takes is one shoe.
But trying to get those kids sometimes, I have to bark. And then I got to threaten them.
Yeah.
So did you ever go through a phase of living with roommates?
Luckily, I didn't have to. I was always a solo dude. I never liked roommate. I like to be able to come to my place.
I lived in New York. I had like 6 roommates at times. Like we had to. But I don't want my kids to be the worst roommate in the house.
Yes.
That's what I think about too.
Yeah,
So.
and I want to tell my son, I said, look, so my son did live at Georgia Southern for 4 years. I took a rider truck for him, and like I said, his stuff didn't have to match, but I had people were giving away furniture from houses. Being in real estate helped me to get the stuff cheaply.
Yeah.
To get a washer and dryer. My guy's going to Florida, can't take the washer and dryer. I have a bed near Tom. I told him about $500, give you everything. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Set his apartment up, worked it out. But when me and my wife went to Georgia Southern to see my son, we were disgusted because the sink was because the 4 football players. And I'm like, dude.
So he had roommates when he was there.
He had roommates when he was there, and Dad would go down there. I'm like, I can't stay in the trash. I went in there, literally cleaned up the whole kitchen, started doing dishes. I just couldn't deal with it. I couldn't deal with the mess.
That's that's the thing that gets me is like if they're already at school, that's the perfect time to like really like utilize the fact that you have roommates. Like, is this how you want to live after college? Like, if they're just living in filth there, it is such a bad habit to start.
My son, I go in his room and I'm like, he's not touched a toilet in a month and a half.
It's got that orange ring.
It's got the orange ring. So I'm in there with all the stuff to clean because I bought him all the cleaning supplies. I showed him how to use
probably
them.
still return.
Still got the tags on them. Happen to have the seal broken.
You know, I'm a guy like, if we got the dinner leftovers, I paid for that. We're going to eat that later.
Yep.
You may not, but I will. You know, as a dad, all the money we spend on food right now, it's going down somebody's mouth. You understand? And if you throw leftovers out, I'm going to choke you out. Rose, put it back. You look. That's a box. Yeah, we're gonna box it up. I'll eat that for lunch tomorrow to save myself money at lunch, because we spend as dads, as a family, tons of money on just food now, just the normal. Now I'm dealing with 26. I just signed the lease last month. I mean, not last month, last week. Signed that lease because we didn't get the house we wanted. But I gotta admit, I'm kind of happy for them. They're gonna be living right downtown. They can walk. They can take the bus to school.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay for parking. Public transportation.
We got a few things. Well, no.
Those bigger towns too, don't they have like the scooters that you can just like randomly pull up on the street?
It ain't quite that easy. The wife still wants them to have their own car to go get groceries, do what they want. So, you know, it's 2,600.
Deliver those too.
Do they cook for themselves? They're gonna get groceries.
Yes.
Okay.
So of course, I'm gonna go load up at Sam's. I'm gonna, I'll do they'll be stocked come August 3rd.
Okay.
So then my daughter, she's got a credit card that I monitor for them to buy food. My son's already working right now to help pay for his partying and what he wants to do. You understand? I don't want to pay for them to have a good time or go out. They have to earn
I don't want them to
right.
be happy.
So he had to learn that dad wasn't just going to pay for you to spend $80 at a bar.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I can't afford it.
I don't know who could.
So say
Such a bad, normal thing to have on like a daily or weekly basis is just have casual bar tabs.
about 4 years ago, my son wasn't working, and I looked at the card I gave him, and this was $120 at a bar for one night, and I jumped. I lost my shit. But,
What was your opening line?
huh?
What was your opening line when you spoke to him? First words out of your mouth when you spoke.
Well, I don't want to drop the F-bomb.
Drop
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
I literally dropped it. What the f*** are you doing? I'm not doing this shit.
Yeah.
That was the opening line, and I reamed him out. I said, and then I explained to him, I said, back in the day, buddy, me and my friends, all my friends are airline pilots. They're all rich, and we talk about our kids. We would get a six-pack. We would go to the club, right? We would drink the six-pack in the parking lot. Now, I told my son this. I would drink it in the parking lot. I'd go in and buy one beer.
Yep.
And I'd sip on that thing like a nipple all night long.
$12 for the whole night.
At $12 for the whole night, chase and tail right and left, being a dude. It worked for me. So I tried to explain to him. But some kids just don't get it. They want to be the big shot or the big guy. And I'm like,
Offer
dude,
to buy drinks for people.
yeah, what are you doing buying these guys
that
shots and
happened to
stuff?
me.
I'm worried about my kids because we'll send them like not an allowance, but like $20 to go to like camp, and then they'll be like, "Hey, Mom, I only got this one little thing because I bought everybody else ice cream." It's like, why, dude? I didn't send you to buy them ice cream. I wanted you to get ice cream and something else for yourself. My kids are bad about that, so I feel like they're gonna be the ones that go to the bar and drinks on me. My mom gave me $100.
My family thinks I'm a walking ATM.
Yep, same.
And so I'm right now. So this apartment, right? My wife's like, we need an island. So she shows me Wayfair, all these different islands. And she goes, which one do you like? My exact words were, which one's the cheapest one?
Yep.
Yeah.
And she's like, you're always cheap. No, I'm not cheap. I'm
Smart.
spending a shitload of money a month on college kids.
Yeah.
So I'll make sure it matches for my daughter. I'll work with this, but I have to approve everything. You understand? And us dads, we get labeled as being control freaks. And here's what I have a problem with. The wife's not working, but she manages the house. I'm the only one with this income killing myself, and I'm the one paying all the bills. One of us needs to be absolutely responsible that we keep our credit in line so that when I want to go on a vacation, which I'll get to that in a second, or go someplace, so we have credit, we can do things, we can buy things and not be strapped.
Yeah.
So if I'm a control freak, it's because I'm the one managing the money in the household, and then I got to pay for not one person to live, 4 people to live, and everybody's grabbing at me right and left. My son goes, Dad, this was 3 days ago. Okay, I got that job at UPNC, but parking is $250. But Dad, I saved you $50. It's $250 for the year. Can I just go ahead and do that and you reimburse me? Okay, so you understand?
I saved you $50.
I saved you $50, but he's the one getting the job to work there. Shouldn't he be paying for his own damn parking?
It's like, didn't you save you $50?
Shouldn't that be a part of the quest here? That if he's got the job, shouldn't he pay the parking?
Yeah.
And deal with that? I'm paying for everything else. But no, Dad sent the $50. Then he sends me a receipt for his haircut. Dad, I spent $30 on a haircut. I think to myself,
Just send him to my house. I'll help him.
I mean, so I'm like, okay, $33. What did you do for $33 at 𝗍𝗆𝗄𝗴? Isn't that like a $15 haircut? Why is it $33?
Got the deluxe.
Huh?
He got the
He
deluxe.
got washed, buffed, and blowed, and I'm like, that's not what I expected.
Do
not
that
great
at
clips.
sports clips? See, some view it as us being cheap, but I'm the same way you are. I view it as being strategic.
I'm not cheap.
Strategic.
My kids live like a cannoli. They're in a bubble. Do you understand this? They have a bubble, and whenever they need things, Dad provides.
Yeah.
So what is the stress on them? What is the shit going on here? So that's what I'm going through with the older kids.
But you clearly did something right. What was it like raising them? What do you think when you look back on it that I did right? That I'm have somebody going to be a physical therapist, I have someone going to be a pharmacist.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I did right. And what was that? What advice can you give to our generation?
My mother, when I was 13 years old, said, Tommy, you be a great air traffic controller.
Okay.
So, okay? What is that?
You told your son you'd be a great pharmacist?
Listen, well,
Thought it was going to be a different kind.
us as parents, don't send your kid to school just to be a business person or be a general.
Yeah.
You need to specialize. I looked at both of my kids and I said, all right, look, medical. We got to go medical somewhere. Down here, where I went to in Western Pennsylvania, I went to Geneva College, believe it or not, was a private Christian college, which got me into air traffic control because that's what my mother wanted. Somehow, when my mother put that in my brain, I got a scholarship to play at Geneva and do the 1-2-1 program and get a degree in air traffic control and to be a pilot. I got over 350 hours worth of flying time. All my buddies I went to high school with became pilots. They were laying off at that time, and then I got to go to the island of Kauai. My first job assignment was back in 93, island of Kauai.
Was in like 7th grade.
Okay, so
I was 2.
I'm on the island of Kauai, dating my wife-to-be, got married. Then I wound up in Florence, air traffic controller, spread my wings, get a house, and life just takes off.
How old were you?
2 kids. Huh?
How old were you then?
I'm now 56, going to be 57.
Back then, though, when you were dating your wife.
Okay.
93.
I actually dated her probably 91, 92.
So you're about 12 years
Carry
older than
the
me,
6.
So you were like 23.
23. Yes, I was 23 years old when I started dating her. At age 25, that's when I left Pittsburgh.
When did you guys get married? How old are you then?
I was 27. She was 25.
Okay.
So when I got down to Kauai, I told my girl from back home, look, give me 2 years. I promise you in 2 years, give me 2 years, I'll get back to the East Coast. I'll get back to the East Coast. We're getting married, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
And believe it or not, the federal government back then, they were contracting out. They were privatizing smaller airports. 𝗚𝗍𝗵𝗴 Airport and now in Kauai got privatized back in '97. So I'm there no, actually 95. I'm there in '93. I'm losing track of time here somewhere. So somehow I got the 𝗚𝗿𝗆 ticket, the bid somewhere back to the East Coast. My wife to be said, I don't want to be in Pittsburgh. Get us south. I'm like, what? My wife was the reason why I bid south on airports, not going back to Pennsylvania where my dad wanted me.
Yeah.
Rounded up in Raleigh, North Carolina. That didn't work out after 2 years. Then I got a job switch from Raleigh to Florence, South Carolina. Okay? Got here, got a house, got kids, and then you get accustomed to living, and then I got into real estate. Everything just started to move forward.
Yeah.
Got me to where I am now. Now what's weird is now I got my kids going back to my hometown. Now I love my Steelers, my Penguins, but what the good part about it is when the kids are both in Pittsburgh, we can drive, stay with grandma, see them, then I can leave and come back to my life here.
Yeah.
My wife is like, let's get out of here. And I'm like, can't do that. You would destroy us. All my money's now made to real estate in Florence. All my networking is here. I ain't leaving.
Start over somewhere. Yeah.
I can't start over because it would destroy the money I got coming in. And I don't want to kill my 401k for my federal job.
Yeah.
So full circle, now we're just here trying to figure out how to get them through grad school. So get back to your point. I told both of my kids, you got to specialize. I specialized as an air traffic controller, made great money, got great respect, great 401k. My kids have got to find a job that's in demand, meaning someplace they're going to fire you. I had a union where I worked, so that was great.
Oh, yeah.
But when you go out in the world, in the business world, you're just a business major.
Yeah.
You have no...
You don't need to even go to school for that.
Yeah, no. You could just go get... People want experience. Well, I got my degree, but they won't hire you.
We talked about that, and I think that was the first or second episode.
Yeah. I didn't... I barely graduated high school. I gave up and got a GED.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
What how old were your kids when you really started to push on them to specialize in something?
I was on them young. You know, sports. I was a sports fanatic.
Like high school or like prior to that?
Well, way prior to that.
That's good. I started sports too.
Huh?
Your daughter played sports too?
My daughter played D1 softball at Winthrop. My son played D1 football at the Citadel. It was a full ride. Leaves the Citadel because he hated it, and it's a military type school. I would have never went to Citadel because I hate people browbeating you or putting you down.
Yeah.
My son's a big kid, and all these kids are half his size, making him do push-ups 24/7. It's it's not for everybody. It wouldn't have been for me.
Yeah.
So we got through the first semester. He goes in the football. He goes, Dad, they don't care about football down here. They don't care. They don't care if they win or lose down here. I can't stand it here. I said, well, let's get in the transfer portal. And Georgia Southern gave him a chance to go walk on. So we went from the Citadel. He followed one of his football coaches to Georgia Southern. And I'm like, and at that time he had like 5 different schools. He had Marshall was on his list, and they gave him a preferred walk on just like Georgia Southern did. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I don't want to go to West Virginia, back in the mountains. And I'm glad he picked Georgia Southern because it was only 3.5 hours away from home.
Yeah.
Compared to 8 or 9.
Yeah.
One of my sons somewhere close to I could get to him, right?
Yeah. So you could even go see the game.
I could go see the games, and
Yeah.
I saw his freshman year. He redshirted at Citadel his freshman year at Georgia Southern. I got to go watch them finally make a bowl game. They went 6-6. I was there for 3 or 4 games. Now I drive down 3.5 hours and see him. So I was fortunate my son wasn't far away. My daughter was in Rock Hill, Winthrop playing softball. She's 2 hours away. So I'm either going north on 77 or south on 77 or south on 95, to see my kids.
So when they were growing up, did you ever have like conflicting schedules to try to be at both their practices, both their games?
Yes.
How did you handle that?
I was a control freak. I was coaching both of them. So I would set practices at different times. I'd go from a baseball practice, run to a softball practice. I made it work. I killed myself to make that work.
So that's Tom's suggestion for any dads out there with kids with multiple sports. Just fucking coach all of them.
Coach all of them.
Coach, you know why? Because I played college ball. I played college baseball and college football, and I had a good knack for it. I was good at it.
Where'd you play in baseball?
I was third baseman, first baseman, and outfielder. Okay? So at
Cody Bellinger. Just everywhere.
I did everything, but I wanted to be a dual sport. So back in the day, you had Bo Jackson playing baseball and football. I'm like, what can I do in college?
Being proficient at both.
Jesus.
After my freshman year, I had to give up baseball because it was just too much. I figured out that this is absolutely killing me trying to get through school. I wasn't smart enough to handle the grades and that, so I gave one up, trained, just played football, got a 4-year degree, finished all 4 years, got my air traffic control degree. My life started. My wife-to-be never told me that I wasn't allowed to leave for my job. I was going. I was not getting married. All those dads, I would not get married until I could take care of my family, until I had a job where I was making enough money to bring another human being into my life.
All right, so what did your parents do right to put that in your head and make that one of your like foundation principles?
Both my mom and dad were very stable. My dad was aviation. My dad worked for Allegheny Airlines, which became U.S. Air, which got bought out by American Airlines. Okay. So my dad was always in aviation, and Dad always had decent money. We lived a decent life, and not a good upper class, a good middle class,
upper middle.
upper middle.
Yeah, I get what you're
You
saying.
understand?
Yeah.
I mean,
Middle Eastern.
Dad was
Good Middle Eastern family.
Dad was a control freak and everything, but he built his own house. My dad was a jack of all trades. He bought all Ford cars because he could fix the brakes and fix things on him. He knew how it worked.
Yeah.
But he was a mechanic, working as an airline mechanic in Pennsylvania. That's where my mother says you'd be a great air traffic controller. So when both kids were young, I said, you all got to get into the medical field somehow. I don't care what it is, dentist, mech. So my son first wanted to be a dentist. And that didn't quite go right. Then he changed majors because a good tennis friend of mine was making bank as a pharmacist. So my son saw that. He saw the years, saw the schooling for it, and he goes, I think I'm going to do this. And so I'm happy that both need to specialize. And I did this when they were 11 and 12. Look, this is how Dad did it. You can't just be a business major, not in my household. You got to figure out a diversity that you want.
Yeah.
And this all came from my mother saying one thing to me, Tommy, you'd be a good air traffic controller, when I was 12 and 13. And I ran with it. You understand? I didn't know what I'm going to be. I said, okay, so Dad's in aviation, why the hell not? And I just focused on that. And I focused on telling them at an early age, this is what I expect out of you. Because if you want to go to Disney, if you want to enjoy life, you got to have money in this world to make it work.
So in a generation where, well, in a time where everybody's starting their life later and later and later.
Yeah.
Like, what were your concerns when they were growing up, or other than saying like you need to be ready for this? Was there any other principles? Do you think they're ready to start a family?
I feel like me and Tom are raising kids in a generation where, like, if we tell them, you know, hey, this is something that we feel like you should pursue, like, are they going to do it? I feel like that's just a generation.
I want my kid to find what they're good at and not, like what you were saying, not waste time in school like most of my generation did.
Like, please, you got to have a little nudge. I've always pushed my kids in sports. We trained hard. We worked hard. And I am type A. And I'm like,
no.
You wouldn't know that, right?
No, I have no idea.
I'm over the top. So my bark is worse than my bite. You understand? I'm not into beating my kids doing this or that. But I would.
Why not?
I was very loud, upset, and in their face when they did things wrong.
Okay.
But I really try to just plant a seed like my mother did. Y'all got to get in the medical field. Y'all got to have benefits, because at some point you're gonna be off Dad's payroll.
Okay.
At some point, Dad wants to enjoy his life and date his mother again and start doing things. And I'm going to bring you along with me.
Yeah.
For example.
Date their mother again.
Yeah. Date my wife again. You know what I'm saying? When the kids are on the house, I'm like, holy shit, doesn't hate me. She actually likes me now.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
So when my son comes
She
home,
was at your realtor open house.
when my son comes home, I'm like, you leaving again? Because you're killing my sex life. You get out the door. I got to get you. It's time to go back to college, right? Get out. Get out. So
You've overstayed your welcome.
the one thing I wanted to do when I retired from the federal government was take my kids on a vacation. We went to Hawaii this year. So in May, before they get to graduate school, when they're locked in, I took them on a 2-week vacation in Hawaii. I went back to the island of Kauai where I first had my job. I wanted to show them where I started my life.
That's cool, man.
And what brought me to tears was I found my own landlord. Remember, I was 25 years old, leaving Pittsburgh, basically took everything in the house my parents didn't want, put it into the government, shipped my car, everything over. I was by myself, dude. There was no net, no nothing. I had to make this job work. And in the process, my landlord, I got real tight with him. He was family to me for 2 years. So what brought me to tears was that was before cell phones, beepers, and numbers, right? So
Yeah, it was the 90s.
as you get kids, you lose friends because of life. I always wanted to get back and see Pete. Pete Fisher was amazing to me. Get it? He was family because I had nobody.
Yeah.
So I took the kids over there and I said, I got to find Pete. I got to find him. So this was in May, and this just happened. May 12th for 2 weeks, for 2 weeks. We went to first started out on it. We flew to Kauai, then we flew to Maui and back. Those are the 2 islands I wanted to take them to, where I had a good time when I'm in my 20s. And damn it, I went to the old house, knocked on the door, and I'm like, and the lady comes to the door, and she bought the house from Pete back in 08 or 010, somewhere in there. You know what? And we just had a long conversation. Pete's right down the river. He's got a house down there. He owns a canoe operation. Oh, and she gave me the number. So this was on a Sunday. I called that number, and the person who answered the phone, I immediately knew was him. And we connected. So my family, my wife, daughter, my son's girlfriend, she came. That's a whole nother story. I got to tell you about that one. Got to go meet Pete. And at one point, I mean, now I'm going to start to cry. I'll go to my grave loving this guy because he was just genuine to me. We all in life have to have a little bit of help.
Yeah.
Something's got to roll your way. Somebody's got to take you on your wing. Somebody's got to help you out. My first trainer as an air traffic controller was a burnout washout from Washington Center. And he comes in the same time I do. And I can't remember some of the conversations. He runs through a book in my head because I was just screwing shit up. He goes, you dumbass, blah, blah, blah. You can't do that now. But back in the day, trainers would lose their shit on you to try and straighten you out.
We've never needed that more in society.
So I'm telling you, I mean, a book on my head, he'd get in my face, call me a dumbass piece of shit. And then 3 minutes later, me and him are going to play golf together, having a half beer.
Yeah.
It's just
like the Looney Tunes cartoon.
It was that generation where shit would go down, and then you and your buddy would go, all right, Tom, you ready? Let's go play golf. All I did in Kauai was play golf, talk to my wife-to-be, and hung out with the guys there. But I had a little help. Like I said, Pete was my landlord. My trainer back then helped me out. And me and O.J. Simpson have something in common.
Oh my God, you're a murderer.
Me and O.J. have something in common, so.
You robbed a hotel in Vegas.
No.
With his own memorabilia.
Heisman? Black?
So, you love this story. So, this actual story of my life was, so you know how you know how one guy in one day is having an amazing day. One guy's having a shit day. So, I finally get checked out as an air. This is the day that they certify me. They give me a permanent job with the federal government. That day, I get the Willy Wonka ticket. You know what, son? You can work on your own. You're now a certified air traffic controller. I got a career and I got something going. Now, the thing back in the 90s was after that, you were taking your trainer who pushed your ass and got you through to the bar. So
That's where you killed somebody.
I get checked out. And me and my buddy go to the bar. remember, I'm having an amazing day, and there's O.J. Simpson going down the highway running from the law the same day. The same day when he was on the run,
Okay.
was
I remember
having a
watching that on
totally
TV.
day. I was having a day of my life. I made my life. You
In
know,
all fairness, a lot
weird.
of people had a better day than OJ that day.
That's very true. Very true.
All right, so you mentioned your son's girlfriend, but I actually wanted to talk about raising a daughter, and she's 26 now. Is she?
well, she's 24 going on 25.
Oh, it's, I thought it was 25. I got it mixed up in my
It's
head.
all good.
Yeah.
Good.
So, did she bring home or get in any real relationships with any like absolute losers, anyone you could not stand, and how did you handle it? If that happened, I don't know. Maybe you.
I got lucky. I dodged that bullet.
Okay.
She was just a happy. My daughter is fun, enjoyable. She's easy. She has her moments. She's not perfect,
All right.
but I never had that where I was like, this dude shows up with tattoos. What is he doing in my house? Both you two guys are tattooed up. Oh my God! But that's me.
You'd be
You
lucky to
understand?
have a son-in-law.
Exactly.
Damn, I treat my wife.
I get that. I thought. No, I get that, but I didn't have anybody where I had a stigmatism or
My thought is though is like there are so many women out there who do not know how to pick someone who treats them properly, and I know that a lot comes from just probably how you treated her mom, and she probably saw that. But can you think of anything you did to really build that self-esteem? Was it sports? Was it?
It was all through sports and hanging out together in a ball field and spending time with her. And she really knew me, and my kids knew me inside and out because how intense I was and how driven I was at certain things.
Okay.
And how, I expected certain things. And even then I had a bend. Nothing's perfect.
Of course, yeah. Everyone's gonna make mistakes.
I mean, there was this one time at the gym, me and my wife were, we're decent looking people. We work out a lot. This guy walks up to me and he says, you have the best marriage ever. I'm like, what? What'd you say? What? I had the best marriage.
She threw a f***ing shoe at me.
I walked to the phone in McLeod gym, dialed the number and said, Roseanne, you won't believe what this just said. Me and you have the perfect marriage. Quote unquote, she says, what the is he looking at? It's work. Ain't nothing perfect. It's work.
That is also a person that I can enjoy life with.
Oh, yeah.
Me and my wife have fun together.
Yes.
We f***ing crack up together.
That's
when it's
awesome.
just us.
That helps. That would get you through the tough times.
That can go into that guy's question that he asked us. How do you keep the romance long term? True, that was like an early question we got.
Yeah,
but
on one of
truly,
the comments.
just being their best friend that you could crack on each other.
I can
man, it's
honestly
so
say-
satisfying.
Nothing was perfect, me and her. We, when we were raising the kids, I wasn't at the bar. I was with them. But the time that me and her spent together wasn't quality back when I was raising them because I was doing 2 jobs in 2 different places.
That's a challenge.
So, we got through that time period. And then when both the kids went to college, it's like, what do you want to do tonight?
there's
you want to go out? You want to go to dinner? All of a sudden, we're back to dating.
Oh, I like you.
There's that.
The best part about my wife is I never had an issue about going to bed with her. I was always in, right? So you have to have some connection, something that gets you to come home to her, something, right? Well, I always had that.
Yeah.
Now we are really working on the communication is just amazing right now. Our dealings with our kids and everything, we're on point because they're not always there. And now we're spending more time together.
Yeah.
Is the biggest thing to make the marriage work. More time together, the better.
I feel like you've gone through that stint for so long with the kids that when they're out of there, like, and you're still standing.
It's like
that appreciation for each other.
It
just
is like, oh my God, let's
untouchable.
what trip you want to do? What are you gonna do next? You want to go to a concert? So I started going to rock concerts again. Me and my wife went to the House of Blues.
And went to Hinder.
And yes, went to Hinder. And my wife, you know what? was great. She get down there all jazzed up, and it was me at the end of the night. You know what I'm saying? She get all hot and bothered, and there was Tommy boy taking her home. It worked for me.
Yeah, Tom told me he was going to a concert. I don't know what I thought you were gonna say like Jimmy Buffett or something. You're like, yeah, we're going to see Hinder, and I was like, no shit, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
My good friend who I yes, yeah, but yes.
When you're mad at me.
But
it's like early 2000s, like
House
Radio
of
Rock.
Blues, you are on the stage. You spend $35.
I saw Candlebox there.
Yeah, it's a great place to see a concert. And my wife's like, when's the next one? I'm like, okay.
That's awesome.
When's the next one? When do you want to go back again? Right?
Yeah.
But I got lucky with my daughter. To get back to our question, I never had to deal with that. So sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. My daughter's actually kind of happy right now. She's really energized to go to Pittsburgh because, you know, she's Italian and she goes out to bars and guys are hitting on her right and left. Hey, you Italian girl, this and that. My daughter's starting now enjoy the, you know, people wanting to maybe take her for a date, go do things. Yeah. I think she's got a good chance when she gets up there to find somebody. I just hope she makes the right choice. You know, Dad's got to deal with, okay, we're getting on birth control. And I'm like, and my daughter goes, Dad, it's not about, I said, Lexus, I don't care. It's okay. You're 22, 23. You're going to find somebody and we're hoping it's going to work out, but protect yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm dealing with.
Yeah, I didn't, and look at you.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
so I know that you are on a time limit and it's already almost 5:40. It's almost 5:40.
Yeah.
One thing we do like to hear is when you found out you were going to be a dad, how old were you? Were you trying? Do you remember how you were told? And what was that day like for you?
It was amazing because a lot of people try a lot.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you a story about it. So I blame Les having a girl first because I didn't put enough effort in the first time. The wife goes, all right, buddy, let's go. You know, it's hard when your wife goes, we're going to do this because you got to knock me up. Right. I'm like, oh boy. You know, so you're kind of like,
you think if you tried
harder,
like,
wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute.
You said you didn't try hard enough to have a boy, so you had a
girl?
girl?
I laid back and she was more the aggressive. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just, you know.
Right,
look,
where was your foot? What are we doing?
Your wife called my wife.
I thought we had more practice time. I thought I could just, you know, just thinking it won't happen the first time, right?
You didn't want to bring your A+ game right off the bat.
The very first time we did without protection, boom. I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, wow. We're really compatible. Damn. And then
it was all that testosterone.
I don't know. Well, no, it wasn't me. I mean, she was the one. I'm blessed to have my daughter. Love my girl,
right?
But
remember, the first month for us too.
I grew up. I grew up in a house of boys, so having a girl was just, you know, a little different. I had to retrain my brain from baseballs, footballs, to softballs. You know, I had to rethink my whole game plan with the first child.
Luckily, it's on the same playing field.
Yeah, I'm just.
It's not like they were playing croquet.
So listen to me, boys. When I knew we were really compatible. The next time when we were going to go for the next child, Tommy boy was on his game.
What position is best for having a boy?
I don't want, oh, Jesus.
The jackhammer. That's a manly position.
Do I got to do this?
No.
Let's not go into this.
Don't tell anybody the secret. That's the Alaskan pipeline.
I was fortunate both times we tried, it worked. And I'm like, I didn't want to get nipped or tucked. So I said, while you're already have our second shot and we're done, while we just get your tubes tied, you know, while the surgery's already going on, the kids come out, let's just get it done.
Yeah.
So she agreed to get her tubes tied after the second one, and now we're blessed to have two healthy kids.
I don't give a shit. I got my annual checkup tomorrow, and I'm saying I need a recommendation. I'm getting snipped.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna be 45 with the newborn, Tom.
I got 4 kids. At this point, I hope they just castrate.
Well, why didn't your wife tie her tubes after the birth? That was easy.
Because we weren't sure.
I wanted 2. That was it. You know, here's the thing. When I had my girl, it actually is the best thing that's ever happened to me. Yeah. So I'm good. I'm thrilled. I love my daughter. And then the next child was my son. I'm like, I got the best of both worlds.
My next one,
I said, how about we just cool it here? And my wife's like, okay. I said, look, since we're having a boy, let's just tie the tubes and move forward. And so we were on the same page. So it wasn't that bad. So, but I was thrilled the first day I had my 2 kids. Now I'm dealing with $2,600 a month in rent, but I'm happy they're going to graduate school. I want them to be successful in life. That's what I'm trying to keep going, you know?
I feel like the opening, so normally we do a segment called This Week in Dieting where we talk about that, and then we end with the grumpy old man, but we kind of meshed. Even I bitched about the playground set.
I'll be honest with you, my grumpy old man was going to be the toothpaste because it happens every day. And it's honestly not just the toothpaste. It's just anything that I feel like I say something and it just goes like this.
My
Grumpy old
biggest,
man is what things are aggravating you in the world today that makes you go, getting old. That's what that segment is.
I think right now the fact that both of my kids are still, everybody's like looking at their cell phone constantly. Back in the day, we had no cell phones. I had to go dates. I had to go meet my wife in a bar. I mean, I had to work for the shit. Now they're on Hinder, they're on this, you know, they're just glued to their phone. Tinder, whatever the hell.
I mean,
I
Hinder
don't
too.
know what the hell it's called. I'm so out of the loop.
Yeah.
Okay? So trying to relate to that's differently now because all the technology has changed so much. But my bringing up was still from my parents, and it's always we want to be something, not something. Let's be something. I want positive people for this world. I want my kids to make an impact. Like hopefully I have. You know, right or wrong. Be professionals in a place. Get the health benefits. Plant that seed, parents, early. Just say, you know what, Johnny, Jimmy, you know, we need to kind of look to this field so you can have benefits and job security, and you're not losing your job because a corporation goes under and you were just a plant manager and couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
I feel like we're in the generation still of what's the you can be anything you put your mind to. I feel like at that age though they're not like smart enough, but they're not like well put together enough to like really like build the drive. So I do think it's a really good thing to kind of help them figure out what that is.
You gotta throw a hit in there.
School
man.
ain't gonna do it. They're
No.
gonna give you you can be whatever you want.
Hey, school, they freaking took out cursive writing. Oh, I lost my mind. Bunch of idiots. What do you mean? They still got to write. So
how are they supposed to learn a
they have now brought it back, but my son and daughter went through school. They didn't learn cursive. Their cursive writing looks like shit.
I forgot it. I learned it and I don't know how to do it anymore. I barely ever write. My handwriting gets so much worse because everything is typing, everything is texting.
Yeah,
Like
I still have like an 8th grade handwriting.
I still have like checkbook I still use, guys. So I'm still fighting.
My 8-year-old has a better handwriting than me.
I saw my friend, we used to be in a band together. He found a flyer that I made and sent me a picture of it. And I'm like, my handwriting was better 20 years ago than it is today.
Probably.
Yeah, I was writing. I wrote things.
Yeah.
I just don't do it.
Well, thank y'all for tuning in of the 𝗵𝗆𝗱 the Dad podcast. I'd like to thank our special guest, Tom Snyder, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Very
Appreciate it.
informative.
Yeah.
Appreciate you being here, dude. And just to clarify, you have not murdered anybody.
No. Oh, good. There's no bodies.
I was just saying. I mean, I
Say
thought
just-
I thought
sounded
maybe
good, yeah.
maybe you reconnecting with Pete was like a Red and
I don't-
Andy Dufresne showing up in 𝗤𝗿𝗄𝗃.
No, there's no bodies.